Dale.
Thank you, Tom.
Carl, are we good?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate everybody coming out on a Friday afternoon. I know it's a little bit difficult to sit in a room on Friday afternoon, particularly after you worked, what, 3 or 4 hours yesterday? But it was low pressure hours, so now we get to do the high pressure stuff. All joking aside, this is very, very simple things. I'm not a finance major or a finance person. The idea behind this class is to open up finance and basic financial terms within our company to the masses, which would be us, so that we can understand many of the basics of our business that aren't necessarily always explained to us when we enter into management. Couple of ground rules for class. Number one, please ask questions early and often. There's always an opportunity to jump in. This is not a seminar where you sit and listen. It's a seminar where you participate. And I pray I'll learn a little bit as well as you. We'll last about three hours. We might be able to get it done sooner since we know each other a little bit, and this is a fairly sharp group from what I can tell. And they look good. No? Did I look at the wrong guy when I said sharp? I'm sure with this sharp group we'll get done in under 3 hours. However, I'm here in Albany tonight. Dale said you have half a dozen incredible restaurants, a couple night spots. You know, we're going to kind of do the town till about 2 in the morning. So, any questions that you have after class, I'll be here. We can discuss them, and certainly anything that you have afterwards that you have questions about, let me know. We can do that. But if you'll flip over to the first page of your participant guide, and Danny and Dale, you guys have a little bit different guide. You have a trainer guide, the same one I have, so that you guys can do these classes in the future for new hires that join us. And that's really the intention of this. When we incorporate new managers in our system, we have a class called Management Academy that some of you may have gone through. And one aspect that we were missing in Management Academy was the financial portion. So we decided to add this. But for those managers that have been here for many, many years, and this house is a good example of managers that have a long tenure, we wanted to reintroduce this to you. So much of this information may be well below your intelligence, but please help us through it. So if it is, forgive us, but certainly those of us that are newer to management hopefully can learn one or two things. Now, if you look at the agenda, we're going to discuss your role as a business manager. My favorite topic, profitability. Roll into revenue, where it all begins. Expenses. Then the most fun part of the afternoon, we're going to look at a model P&L. Now, usually I tell people that this is a P&L that I would dream to have in my house. But what I did for this session, I just took Dale's P&L because it looked so good, and I just put it on there as a model P&L, so we can look at that at the end. Now, if you would, roll to page 3 in your guide. And we're going to discuss your role as a business manager. We'd like each and every one of you to think of yourselves as independent business managers as opposed to members of a larger group, so that each one of your small business units, whether it be operations with Travis, whether it be Jeanette in the office, whether it be Mike with Spirits, whether it be Shannon with AWW, that your individual group is thought of as your own little small business, and that you make sound business decisions for that small business, rather than just assuming that Dale or Danny or someone else is going to make those decisions for you on the whole. And we think if we have that approach, if we have, 15 managers making sound business decisions together, then as a group, that model P&L is going to look fantastic. Can anybody think of a small example of a business transaction that you might have on a daily basis? What about yesterday? Did we have any business transactions? What did you do yesterday, Chris?
sold all I could on Jim Baker. Did everything I could, called everyone I could, and
Gave the house
all I
away.
needed to do is make that number.
Did you make any decisions yesterday?
Made a few decisions.
And how were those decisions? How did you base those decisions? What did you base them on?
Based on the account and what I could actually sell that account on top of what he had, and what to do with the product as we got it in there, and how to display it, and how to price it, and how to move it to the store.
Correct. So in your world in Columbus, you made a business decision yesterday to kind of move us forward. Now, it was a different business decision that Travis was making yesterday. He might have been looking at the Verizon bill and calling Jeff and saying, "Why did you call 411 on 4 times to get a phone number for the office?"
He would do that too, I think.
But Travis is still making an important business decision. So throughout today, we're going to kind of break down our overall P&L into your individual business decisions, the ones that you made yesterday, the ones that you made a week ago or a month ago. Now, if you look, we have a little high-level idea of what an income statement looks like. This is just a couple of the terms and ideas we're going to use. You'll see the first one, of course, is sales. We have to start with money. Got to have revenue. Next, our key component is cost of goods sold. Because we're not a manufacturing company, a distribution company, so we don't create the goods we sell. We purchase them and then resell them as a distribution company. Because of that, our cost of goods sold is by far always going to be our greatest business expense or cost. You see the cost of goods sold has 8 different aspects to generate that number. And then the gross profit is the dollar sales minus the cost of goods sold. Fairly simple and straightforward. Then we break into 3 primary expense categories. What it costs us to sell those goods. Into an operating income. We have a couple other little items, interest expense, things of that nature. And then our net income. How much money did we make at the end of the day? Now, to start off, we thought we'd have a real boring 1-hour session on each financial term we're going to discuss. But Carl's in the room, so we decided to dial that back and make it a 10-minute exercise. So roll over to page 4. While we look at some financial terminology, I want you to take just 10 minutes to complete this exercise. Some of these terms you may not be familiar with. That's okay. If you're not sure, put your best guess and move on. We're going to quickly review these, but this will be a guide for you to roll back to throughout today's session. So go ahead and take 10 minutes, and in column 1, you have those financial terms. In column 2, you have the definition. Match the definition to the term, just put the appropriate letter into the column 1, and see what you come up with. So let's take 10 minutes for it.